Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the Tourism Tribers, the Navigators, and to all of you who have joined us live for our little virtual end of year Christmas party. This is legit our end of year Christmas party where we are getting together virtually for the last time in 2020, and we sparked an idea. Why don't we do it live? And here we are, welcoming you to behind the scenes. And we thought it would be fitting that at the end of the year that we would introduce you to the team and some of the amazing A-teamers that you may have not had the opportunity to meet before. So this is the Digital Discovery Show. It was a show that we introduced this year. We have had the pleasure and honour of meeting some incredible guests on the show from really amazing transformational stories from clients and members that have joined us and have had some remarkable transformations, and also some real guns that are experts in their field that have imparted knowledge. So thank you to everyone that's joined us on the show. And we were, Jackie, who you would have met on our last show, that was our official last guest show, but this is now our official last 2020 show as we say goodbye to a somewhat challenging year for many that we know, and to those that now are kind of reliving what we had here in Melbourne. To those of us, our hearts go out to you. Hopefully this just gets nipped in the bud quickly. So we are having a party here, and you are seeing everybody that makes up Tourism Tribe and Navii Digital, which is the other baby that was launched, and you know, the third child and fourth child for Fabi and fourth for Liz that was born this year. So I want to you know, these incredible women, and it's not, I mean, we don't have an all women policy, but we just attracted.
We haven't found an awesome man yet.
We kind of need to. We do have partners that are male, but I guess the internal team is very much a girl power team. So I'm going to go around and just wave as I introduce you. I mean, there's no strangers to anyone from the Tourism Tribe family. Is our co-founding extraordinaires. We've got CEO Liz Ward. Give us a wave, Liz, in the white there. We've got our incredible CIO and digital technical automation guru, Fabian Wintle. As you can see, this is how we roll. We're so remote that even when we're in cars, it doesn't matter. Like, we just kind of show up and do what we have to do. Thank you for coming, Liz and Fabi. We've got, speaking of extraordinaires, we have our main girl digital coach and strategist Claire McCollum. Hello, Claire, who we also affectionately know as Clazza. If we're lucky, Clazza might come out at the end of year party. What do you reckon, Claire? Is Clazza around too, our 9th team member?
Why not?
I just finished sending her a text message congratulating her for how her professionalism has really grown. So she's probably lesser now in her back pocket going, I can't bring her out.
We need to balance things up, right?
Now, next to Liz, we have the wonderful Hannah Conroy, who's our business, content and design specialist within the team. Hey, Hannah, and you can see Hannah and Liz. And Hannah, we also need to congratulate. She got engaged last week. Woohoo! So we have an engagement in the house. And now Liz is not only her founding boss lady, also mother-in-law. So it's a real family.
Definitely a family affair going on in this
family affair from near and far. Emily Barry, where's our Em? Now, you've met Em. We gave Emma her whole show earlier in the Digital Discovery. Emily, she has really taken on board a lot of the social media marketing, and she really is all hands on deck on many of the projects that we work on, and we just love Em. Welcome to Emily. our newest recruit, Julie, one of our newest recruits. We've got Julie Proft, who is our customer success extraordinaire. There, she's gone with the Christmas tree background theme. Give us a wave, Julie. This is Julie. You've probably had Julie a lot on the talk, and heard her lovely voice, and now you can, the lovely her lovely face to the voice. Julia is our latest, and Julia is, everybody deserves an extraordinaire next to their names, is our digital engineer, and she is Fabbies. We just couldn't think anybody could match and sit next to Fab, but we couldn't think of any more perfect person to be coming along the ride and really helping with all the tech that goes behind the scenes in our lovely little businesses. And my name is Despina Cratius. I sit under all of these amazing women, just helping everybody thrive and in turn, we are all collectively helping all of our community and our members and all of the small businesses that we interact thrive throughout the year and well beyond 2020, 21 and beyond. Big goals to help as many people as we can. So welcome everyone. That was lovely introducing you all, actually.
To introduce everyone.
Yeah, I think this is lovely. And thank you to everyone that's joined us. Please join the party. Please be as vocal. Come and join us on the chats. If there's anything you want to share, if you've been involved with us and anything you would like to share with any of the lovely women that you may have encountered over the year, please feel free to comment. We're all here connecting together on this live show. So I'm going to start with you, my dear Julie P. We've got Julie and Julia. Julie, who I affectionately call Mid-Julie. So, Jules, you love this time of year. And tell us about your favourite Christmas traditions. And you do things a little bit differently in the Proft house. Tell us about what's going to be happening in your world.
We celebrate a day early. I'm half German, as you can see, very clear. And my father, since always, has brought out the presents the day before. So that's our tradition. Everything happens, the meal, the everything. So we wake up on Christmas Day and go, okay, what now?
So what do you do on Christmas Day?
Leftovers.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty much everyone's Boxing Day is us, but border. We don't have sales. We have nothing. We have everything.
You get to play with your toys.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And more together time.
Yeah, beautiful. So it's hard to believe we started at the same time, and it's hard to believe that it hasn't even been 6 months, really.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a lot longer. Now, since you began in early August, I guess working in a team remotely like this, because I know for many this year they've been forced to work how we work day to day, how we've always worked. Has this been something new to you? Have you worked in this way before, remotely in a team-based environment? And what have been some of your highlights?
Well, no, not in a team remotely. The 4 years prior to joining this lovely team, I worked by myself. I have my business that I was running with my husband. So, it was different in that it was lonely. So I can really feel for the operators that we work with when they say, I'm alone, especially those that are super remote and they don't have a community or a tribe. I can feel for them, and I can feel how great it is to be surrounded, or just have an email ping away, an entire team that you can talk to, you can bounce ideas off, you can have a laugh with, because you don't have that when you're on your own, and sometimes your husband's not really up for it, you're like, just leave me alone. yeah, I think that's been the highlight. Having people, like having a community, a tribe around you as you work is lovely. Remote, not in a team, no. And yeah, it's, you know, I like remote. I like being able to work on your own and have your own schedule and, you know, all of that sort of thing. Yeah, not in a team setting though. So this has been great.
Well, it's been great, really great to have you and your beaming, smiling face. And there's no one I've said more you're on mute to than to Jules in our morning meetings. All I see is a beautiful face, and then like you're on mute. But I think that's been something that we have to get used to, and that's been the wonderful thing. And I can certainly relate to that. And it's been such a joy to have you on the team and getting to know you, Julie.
Likewise.
So we have, let's see, we've got, so over to our dear Claire, who is one of our, she corrected me. I had 3 members because you see, out of the 8 of us, 3 of them reside and work in Agnes Waters, but there are a couple of more of our digital assessing, more sisters in Agnes Waters. So there's there's also a couple more, a collective team of 5. Claz, tell me about tell us a little bit about Agnes Waters. Why would someone visit Agnes Waters? What do you love so much? Why would we visit, and why do you love like living and working in AW?
What I love the most is one of the things when I was growing up, I thought you'd have to choose between work or life, and you couldn't have both. And so I chose life, and I chose to, you know, experience life and just really make the most of it, you know, doing things I found really interesting and then finding work that fit around that. And then when I became a tour guide, then that was when I really hit the jackpot, because I was working something I loved and living a life that I absolutely loved. And then when I came here, which was 16 years ago, being a really small town, I thought there's not going to be too much opportunity here. But I never, ever thought that I would end up doing a job that I love, that I can grow in so much and live in a great area too. And it's beautiful here. Looking out the window, there's palm trees and bush turkeys, and there's a beach just 5-minute walk down the road. And it's, yeah, we complain that it's getting really busy here, but probably in comparison to the rest of the country, it's probably not that bad. But it's a great place. At the end of the day, I can finish work and I can just walk and go. And I bought a kayak this year, which has been my saving grace. And I filled up my little thermos of my cup of tea, and I'll go out in the kayak and paddle around, or paddle over to the sandbar and take some snacks and have a cup of tea and paddle back and watch the sunset. And I'm like, this isn't so bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
not bad at all. There's no one that gives me more like location envy than the three of you. It's like, I've just been out to the ocean for a swim pretty much every morning lately. It's just beautiful. Claire, you onboard a lot of clients and you've been coaching a lot of clients. What I love about you, it only takes even just one session or a few sessions, and your clients walk away as your friends. You have such a vested interest in championing and in the success of the businesses that you work with. Tell me about some of your favorite things about being a digital coach and working one-on-one with clients like you do, and some of your highlights throughout this year.
I guess what I actually really enjoy helping people. So no matter what format that is, I really love helping people. And then a lot of people know what they should be doing, but they don't know why as well. So when you can be that person that can explain it to them in their language of why, and it's not just like you should be doing this because of that. It's actually the reason why is because it will help your business, and then you can show them how it helps their business. So I really love that penny dropping and they're not only just telling them what to do or explaining them to them why and how, it's then going through that process with them and, you know, breaking it down even further so it's achievable for them. And then that's the real sense of achievement. At the end of the session, here is a blog post that, you know, we've produced with you, you know, so then they can see how they can do it. And yeah, it's like, I guess that's what I love the most, not just telling them why, but showing them as well. So taking them through that process is so rewarding. And I guess, like, when I think about the standout, like, we worked on a project with Walkajara Art. They're located in Uluru, and it's a art organisation that has a handful of Indigenous artists, and they have a place to work, and you know, there's the 3 people that work there that you know, help sell the art and take people through the centre, etc. And so we had a project where we worked with them for, I think it was 5 sessions, and Despy was you on board at that stage. So Despy and I worked together with some of the sessions so we could learn off each other. And I remember we had this one session where Despy's expertise is social media and Facebook, and then she's really into the video thing. And Despy was like, okay, I want you to go out and produce a video. And I'm there going, oh my God, I don't think they're ready for this. Like, freaking out. But, you know, like, yep, Despy reckons they should do this. And the next session that we had with them, they had produced this video where this Aboriginal woman was walking through her country, like her lands, and explaining the sacredness and the stories of that place. And because of the internet connection, we couldn't, like, it was all broken because of the internet connection on their end, not ours. But they're capturing this video and seeing the landscape. It was, I got so teary. I was so proud that Despy had really pushed them to go and do this and produce this amazing video. And I guess that was my standout moment of, like, what operators can do when not only there's someone holding their hand, but there's also someone pushing them. Like, it was such a proud moment. And yeah, so proud.
I couldn't agree more, because they're waiting on the other end when they finish. They're like, you could see it was like, I hope they think it's okay. We're like, are you kidding me? We were wiping the tears, going, that was just on a journey. This is exactly what we're talking about. I loved that moment. That was definitely one of mine too, Claire. It was one of those fireworks moments.
Yeah. So things like that. So good.
Oh, look, I love what you said. You made a lot of people have found themselves at that crossroad to choose, you know, I love you choose life or work, and to be able to combine the two. I think particularly for, you know, whether it's all of our friends that are working in tourism or any business that you've really gone forth and have the courage to start and try something new, whatever that might be in your business or your career, there's a testament. Just, you know, following that feeling pays off. I love that. Claire, I'm glad you chose life and it led you to work with us. Thank you for everything, Claire. We've still got time for Claza to come out. Don't worry, everybody. And now we're going to move on and meet our newest team member and another Agnes Waters resident who has a wealth of digital engineering experience. This woman's resume will literally blow your mind. Some of the titles I don't even comprehend. Julie, tell us about your engineering background. Just give us a little bit of an idea of your background and how you've led to come and join our digital engineering team.
I tend to do things in zigzags in my life, really. For university, I did aerospace engineering, and that's because I wanted to build a spaceship that goes faster than the speed of light.
Pardon?
It's not too late, Julia. It's not too late.
Well, after first year university, I realized that instead of being in aerospace engineering, I would have had to have been in engineering physics, because first you would have had to have developed the materials that could actually withstand the speeds. And then you would have to develop the technology that could handle like the life support and the this and that. And I just decided maybe I wasn't really that interested in it. So I went traveling and ended up over in New Zealand, and hitchhiking off a ski hill in Wanaka, I ended up meeting the supervisor at Navii Digital, and ended up getting a job doing computational fluid dynamics in the film industry. So it was pretty much making fake water using computers.
No, you've got to go and explain what
No, she doesn't.
It's making fake water on the computer. So so I did that for about 5 years. I worked on movies like Avatar, Happy Feet 2, The Lovely Bones, Waterhorse. So pretty much anytime there were characters that splashed through water or something, it was the water team. So people that I worked with or myself who kind of made that water. So that was really fun, and I had a blast doing that. But then I hit the same thing as Claire, where you work really long hours in cities. I was a small town person who likes being outside all the time. And so we decided it was time to take off from the cities, moved back to Agnes Water, where my husband had already had a place, and spent about 10 years trying to find the right job that would allow me to live the life that I wanted to live. And I think I finally found it.
I think you have absolutely found it. And how lucky are we, really? How lucky are we? Isn't that blows my mind that there's a team just for the water. You can just imagine the production of these movies, what that would look like. If there's that's incredible. And we're so some of your favorite things and about your time with us so far, Julia, of what, how new things that you've been able to take on in rolling with the Fabstar.
Well, be careful what you say there, Julia, right?
No, I enjoy being Fabian's sidekick. That's really fun. I'm hoping to get a uniform soon. Honestly, the best, like, on the technical side of it, learning Active Campaign and how to do automations, I love that. You can set up these little Plinko chips like Jenga blocks, and then you press 1 and all of a sudden it goes plink 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 plink, and all of a sudden things are happening, and I just sent 500 emails to 500 people, and plink 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 plink. All
this is Fab's favorite highlight of the year, seeing you light up talking about Active Campaign. Like,
I mentioned
so
the
awesome.
one when I asked her, I said, she actually used to be my daughter's teacher at school. And then she stopped teaching, said, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, do you want me to show you what I do? These automations, and her face lit up. I'm like, that's it. That's it.
You're the one.
I love
The
it.
rest of the team, when Fabi says automation, we're like,
La la
And
la.
I got really excited. This is so cool.
I had been nagging Fabi to find someone to help her because the workload was getting so much, like, it was crazy, the development we had to do, and she just could not find the right person, the right fit. And all this time, there she was, sitting in Agnes Water.
3 doors down.
And I must say that when I have gone over to Fabi's and worked, like, I'll talk to one of them and I'm completely invisible. So there's these two in their little pods, like this little bubble, and I'm like, hello. Like, nothing.
I'm going to show myself out.
You're not talking automation speak.
You need to write yourself up as an action on their whiteboard behind them. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to Claire.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, we love having you, Julia, and it's just what a great story of how, you know, how the world's aligned, and, you know, we found the perfect person at, it couldn't have been the most perfect time as well. Wouldn't you agree, Fabstar? It was just the universe aligned. Yeah.
It
We
was perfect
focused.
for me as well.
Aligned.
It was definitely aligned. And these are, yeah, this is just, we talk about a lifestyle business. I mean, to see the work output from the two of you from this incredible deck at Fabi's house is, I mean, you talk about just blending your work and your life and, you know, loving what you do is a perfect example of that. And speaking of love is a good segue to our newly engaged staff member, Hannah. Congratulations again. So now I kind of like, is your turn 2021 totally upstaged by wedding plans now? Or you're probably a bit cruisier? How are you
I feel
feeling,
like it's
Hannah?
given it a bit more of a focus now. It's something to look forward to after the year that has been. Sorry, there's a grasshopper around here. Yeah, it's very exciting. It's very exciting to have something to plan and something to focus on. Yeah, very happy.
It would be, what a great time for that, just to going into the new year, having a wedding to organise. Love it. So happy for you. And you started really as one of the OGs. We couldn't remember whether it was Claire or yourself, but it was around the same time where Liz and Fabi went from two to to a couple more, and you started as a digital health check assessor, which is something that we really pride ourselves on with our digital health checks while you went through uni. And you also have a great story that from doing, you know, joining us and helping out through your uni, which was an unrelated degree. What did you study again? What was this? What did you study at uni?
Studied sociology and sustainability and development.
Amazing.
Yeah, all social stuff.
All social stuff, and all very important. I'm sure there's, you know, any university degree has relevance to whatever you know, pathway that you choose. But I just love that you've been able to evolve with the business and grow professionally in all these new wonderful skill sets. Give us a glimpse from your perspective into your journey and the experiences you've had personally that have made you come to terms with, no, this is somewhere I want to land for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, I guess I started before Tourism Tribe. I was in like kind of travel and hospitality roles for a few years and traveling around doing ski seasons and things like that. And then I met my partner and I met Liz, and Liz was like, oh, do you want a couple of little...
I gave you some research work to start
Oh, that's
with.
right. Yeah.
They had bigger plans.
I was just blown away by her, the way she approached it and how thorough it was in initiative. You keep telling the story. Someone will hire you. I'm not saying anything else.
And yeah, I was still working somewhere else at the time, and realized that I was enjoying myself a bit more in Tourism Tribe, and there were a few more opportunities for growth and learning. And yeah, I've learned a lot more about the tourism industry, about small businesses, about digital management, social media. I've really discovered how much I enjoy like visual design, graphic design through this job, which I'm very grateful for that kind of exposure. And yeah, who knows what's next, but I'm not in any hurry to leave.
Thank God.
I really saw the light go on in your eyes at the beginning of this year, though, with the work that we did, the pro bono stuff we were doing on bushfire recovery.
Yeah, that's true.
You really enjoyed doing that, which has that real social aspect to it, where we were helping regions and businesses by providing that advice and those tips. And
that's true. Yeah. God, that
really
feels like a lifetime ago now.
I know.
I was going to say, wow.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and we spurred into action really quickly on the courses for recovery, and you really got into that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really true.
Well, we love having you on board and love that we've got you, for longer and to go through the journey together. And it's just wonderful to see, wonderful to experience that and see that growth in colleagues. That is just, and even to discover new skill sets or new passions throughout those experiences. And speaking of growth and real involvement, we've got Emily, who kind of, well, you're not yet done with uni, but you've certainly had, even in my short time of being here, have seen exponential growth in your professional development, the way you've been able to take on projects. So, you've been doing an outstanding job on our socials and in the creative side as well. For anyone that hasn't seen it, we do have a show with Emily from a few months back. But since then, even since we had our show together, Instagram has got some newbies again for us. Did you want to take the time while you've got the microphone to explain a little bit about what you found and what Instagram has introduced in the last few weeks?
Yeah, so the first thing that they introduced maybe like 4 months ago, I'd say, is the Instagram Reels. So it's kind of like their copied version of TikTok. And since all of like Instagram users like went over to TikTok and just flooded TikTok, Instagram had to create something to get the users back. So Reels kind of did that. And what's really great about it is that anyone that uses Reels to really engage their audiences and that actually does well with their target market can see like exponential growth with it, because obviously Instagram wants to push Reels as much as possible to kind of be better than TikTok and to get the users back. And yeah, I was following this user on Instagram. I think her name is the Socialista. In August, she had 5,000 followers. And then as soon as the Reels came out, all she did was Reels, because that's what her users loved. And now she has tripled her following from 5,000 in August to almost 14,000 now in December. So in less than 6 months, she's tripled her following just by using Reels. So I think it's just a great way. If your users love it, definitely utilize it. And then the second thing is Instagram guides. So that's what they have recently come out with. So it's just a great way of grouping posts into scrollable mini blogs. And they're great for tourism operators because you can search in your location and then create a mini blog with everything in that region. For example, if you're a tour operator or an accommodation place, you can just search your location, add everyone's different posts, whether it be a great fish and chip shop or a lookout, and you can add it to one blog post. And it's great for users to go back and use and look through old content, because if you post something 2 weeks later, no one's ever going to see it again. So it's a great way to reuse old content and to, generate engagement with your users. So they're the two latest things that Instagram have come out with.
Brilliant. Have you seen anyone use, I think Tourism Australia, if anyone wants to get an idea of guides especially and how you can apply them to your business, they're a good, case study or an example that you can go and have a look. Now, you've seen, transformation in a lot of the businesses that you hear about that are either have gone through, that you've met in the Instagram modules of courses that we deliver or coaching clients. Has there been a standout of a business that you have seen before and after that has impressed you on Insta?
Yeah, so Karen and Michael from Dorchester on the beach, they have just done a 180, 360 on all their content. They've completely changed the aesthetic. You can tell that they've realigned their content to suit their target market, and their Instagram have it's insane. We're pulling it up now. So this is their old content. And then in the middle of the year when COVID hit, they did the upskill during lockdown. They did a couple things to improve their content and be re-inspired. And as you can see, they've just taken it and just gone crazy.
Wow, you can see it. You can see the difference between the before and after.
And the way they use their stories, like Karen, I think it's Karen, but she'll like post stories of like in one of the apartments, and she'll have like a coffee in her hand. She'll film a video with the coffee, and she just makes it look like she's living there, and you can just really put yourself in there. And yeah, her photography, everything is just amazing. The way she portrays her business is great. I love it.
Well, we'll have to give her a shout out that we gave her a shout out and congratulate her, because it's formative. I mean, we talked about aesthetics and how important it is on a visual platform like Instagram. What a great example. Go, Karen.
Yay!
Hey, well done. So that's a great example. Thank you, Em, and for everything that you do and will continue to do. And we'll move on to Lister, who also celebrated her birthday recently. Happy birthday.
Why, thank you.
My pleasure. Now, you're a foodie at heart as much as you are a girl boss, leading boss extraordinary, and entrepreneur of the year. We should give light to that and a round of applause. Entrepreneur of the year from your International Women's, I would have got that completely wrong, International Women's Association.
Women's Chief Enterprises.
Women's Chief Enterprises. Now, if there's to be recognised as Entrepreneur of the Year from an International Women's Chief Enterprise Organisation, that's a big deal. And we're so proud of you, and that was a deserving award. But first things first, a foodie at heart, you love to cook up a storm, and I know you've been doing a lot of cooking up there in Yamba with the family. What are some of your fave Christmas dishes that you'll be cooking up on Friday?
I reckon this year, more so than any other year, I feel like the salads are the winners. Like all these different awesome salad recipes. Like you can just see them everywhere in a lot of the cookbooks, a lot of the magazines that come out of even out of the supermarkets. Like these amazing salads. So I reckon it's the whole fresh thing, sort of less stodgy, traditional roast stuff. I reckon that's kind of been parked for a while. We'll see these amazing salads on a lot of tables because there are so many great recipes out there, and things that used to be, you don't eat that in a restaurant, like salads with charred broccoli and, beautiful and, pickling the broccoli stems and then putting them in the salad, just stuff that sort of seemed like, it's like they've now developed recipes that are simpler and much easier for the average cook to do. Get awesome salads. And I reckon there's a lot of cooks out there who've learnt to balance dressings these days as well.
Yes.
So I don't know whether they pick that up off watching, because there's so many cooking shows, and you've got nothing else.
To make a salad dressing.
Yeah, to get it balanced right, just to get that oil and sour right and a little bit of salt. So I reckon the salads have got it this year. That's my view. Maybe not so much meat, more sort of lighter.
Yes,
that's a good thing. Hey,
yes,
that's my tip for Christmas is go through salad recipes and
love
put salads out on the table and some nice fresh veg and just a little bit of meat or seafood or something.
I reckon if my salad even gets a dressing, it's doing really well.
Oh, Claire, it's all about the dressing.
Christmas present, Claire. Teach you how to do it.
Yes.
Note yourself.
For sure.
Oh, love it. And so do you have a favorite cook or chef that you follow, Liz? Like, who's your main inspo in the food department?
Oh, look, when I was younger, I most of my adult cooking learning came, because it was the 80s, came from Margaret Fulton, who passed away earlier this year. So she's just a legend in Australian cookery. And that's, she is responsible for teaching a lot of people to cook. So I still have 2 of her big fat cookbooks, and they are go-tos. Like if you think of anything classic that you want to cook, it will be in that book.
Wow.
So my Christmas cake recipe is in that book, those sorts of things. If you want to make bitter rolls, or just think anything classic, a bit of a French influence, or really any genre, you'll find it in there. So, I'd say that she's probably, and I remember being 20 or 21 and going, I really want the big Margaret Fulton cookbook, like that was what I really wanted. Yeah, really. I'd probably say that she's been the biggest influence, but there's so many great, what's his name, Ottolenghi? Ottolenghi. So that, he's got, my eldest son gave me that cookbook, his more complicated cookbook than the simple cookbook it's called, of Ottolenghi. And that's a lot of Middle Eastern influence in there, and that's what we said, a lot of recipes go that way. But yeah, Ottolenghi's doing influencing a lot of people with new ways of cooking with a lot of vegetables, which is very cool. Yeah, so that's probably a more recent influence. Great.
Love it. There's some inspiration for people to look up.
Yeah.
Now, Liz, this time last year, the team was it was half the size.
Yeah.
How has that felt for you? What have been some of your highlights in experiencing growth in business and literally doubling your workforce and your team?
Oh, it's a blur, but it's a really fabulous blur, and we're all, Fab and I are still standing. We haven't fallen over. Because we've surrounded ourselves with the right people, which is everybody on screen here, and some amazing consultants out to the side as well, who we hire and bring in. Fab and I started this business in 2015, and at the end of last year, 2019, we'd had some great contracts. Tourism Tribe was, evolving, and we kept changing it. But we never, when we got back to work at the second week of January, and it was just all about the bushfires and what could we do to help. And I think that triggered something in us, because we were ready and we had enough of a network and brand equity. I think in Tourism Tribe, we're in a position to do some great content and tips and help people, and do some pro bono stuff on the speaking circuit to help regions and things like that. So we were ready to help. We just threw ourselves at that. There was no questions. Went, yep, we've got to do everything we can do to help. Doesn't matter, we're not charging anybody, we'll just do this. And then before we knew it, so we got through January, February with a focus on that. Before we knew it, we're in March, and there's this thing called coronavirus, and what the heck was that? And we had that. We sort of had that feeling with the bushfires. We've just got to do something to help. We went into that same mode then with COVID and said, let's create a course, because there's all these poor people going into lockdown for the first time. All these businesses won't be able to get any business. Let's put a course together. So we made the decision on the Monday. We had it advertised on the Tuesday. And then we built it. So every week of those 12 weeks, we're building the course. Like, we can do this. That's good. Because we were ready to do it. And at exactly the same time, we had applied for this tender for this massive big grant to extend what we were doing in tourism out into the small business sector. And you're not going to, we all know the story from there. We actually won it. It was a federal government grant, which is how Navii was started. And, I tell the story. I said to Fab, got a call today from the federal government saying, this was about early April. We're just ringing all of the people who applied for the grant, wondering how has COVID affected you? Would you still be able to deliver on it? And I went, yeah, we'll be fine. And I told Fab, and she said, oh, we've won it. And I said, oh, no, we haven't. We're just shortlisted. We'll be shortlisted. And then about 4 weeks later, this really happy woman from Canberra calling me going, you're not going to be surprised as to why I'm ringing you, but you're the successful applicant. Would you like $2 million?
What a feeling.
Yeah, what a feeling. And look, all that. And so since then, we've been riotously. I don't want to use the word busy. Everybody is busy. Everybody is busy. But we've had plenty to do. We've had a very, very clear work plan. Let's say that we've had a very clear work plan, and we've needed the right people to help us. So there's been, you heard about Julie's appointment and, Julia's appointment and Julie's appointment. They were great finds through our network. Despy, you joining our team was just absolute. It was a double-edged sword for you. Coming out of the tour business with a business that was on, brought to its absolute knees because of coronavirus with global balloons, so severely impacted, and you making the decision that they had to change for the next couple of years, and you wouldn't stay. You got them set up, but you wouldn't stay on that journey. How fortunate for us, we're able to then have you as our general manager, as our chief navigator. Because what that's done is it's allowed Fabby and I to work on the business, or Fab doing all the design and development, with Julia's helping me to work on the business. I'm not so in the day-to-day. So that's been just, fabulous. And the industry, and digital, and how to train and all of that stuff. So it's just been awesome. So I think we've coped with it really well, and it's been an amazing year. And I don't know, we haven't had time to really take stock of it, and it doesn't matter. And I think we just need to keep going, but with putting good processes in and making sure the team's okay with the growth, and don't let things run away from us. Like, stay focused and plan the next quarter always, and have the big vision. And I'd say this is another key thing too, is when Fab and I set the vision of, being able to help, well, it was tourism operators particularly, but small businesses, including tourism operators, to have the lifestyle they want to achieve their dreams, whatever they are, for whatever are their drivers for having their business, and despite where they're located, so taking the services to them, that hasn't changed. So the Navii grant and the Navii business, we were ready for it. It just goes to that next area of scope. So it's not like we've been thrown something we can't handle. And I knew that when we wrote the application for the grant. I thought, we can do this. We're ready for this. But I thought, we're just too small. We'll never get it. So when I got the nice lady on the phone going, you're not going to get it, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm so surprised.
Oh, look, and it all complements what you were doing, and doing very well anyway from before that now. And I do I have the same, I guess, the same philosophy around busy, because we're all busy, but we've kept our plates full, and always challenged to the next thing. So this is as good as it gets for us, kind of stopping and taking stock of the year, that was, isn't it?
It is. It is, absolutely. But, look, it just kudos to all of you too, because working remotely does have its challenges. You haven't got that physical rub of the shoulder in the morning to give somebody a bit more energy kind of thing. You've got to have more self-motivation. You've got to be able to energize yourself. You've got to have really good self-discipline. So, in the different ways that we all manage to do that, and we all help each other, we have great processes, then we've done really well. So
absolutely. And hopefully in the new year we'll be able to do something. We'll be able to all going well. We can never say
we can all going well. We'll go to Dorchester. We'll go to Karen's place.
Yes, please.
And contribute to her aesthetically pleasing, beautiful Instagram.
Yeah, and we'll do some planning.
Yeah, love it. Well, thank you, Liz. Thank you for everything. And as we start to wrap up, we'll finish with the fabulous Fabstar, who's implemented so much technology and automation this year, like that will just, I think she's done the work of 20 in such a short amount of time. Now with a tech woman wing woman on your side, since Julia has joined your team and our team, What are you most excited about moving into the new year, Fabs? Taking
Building
in
more
everything that
automation.
we've worked and done this year. What was that?
Building more automation.
Building more.
Like we get a real kick out of it and when it works. And I'm no spatial engineer or aerospace engineer, so I could still work within the program. Julia's like, oh, I'm going to tell them to fix this and do it like this. She's already like almost going ahead and writing her own program. I'm still happy to play with what I've got.
Yeah.
But we're going in the future. I think, we've just built everything in the last 6 months. And I just love seeing when it's being used. I guess it's when you grow. I love building a business. I love making things happen. And we've built so much technology and ways for people to learn and systems. And I really like it when we build something once and then we can reap the rewards of it all the time. So if we think about our Queensland Business Revival program we've run at the moment, there's so much technology set up to make it really easy for people to sign up. This is really important for us to make technology easy for people. And then I just sit there watching a little counter that, lots and lots of people are signing up and no interaction is required to help them because we've done things right. So I really like that. Do more of this. I mean, we're a tiny, tiny, tiny small business, all living, where we want to live. But being able to show people how they can do that themselves and have better returns on their business. I mean, it's all about, as Claire was saying, you want to live the life that you love. Yes. And if you can use technology smartly to help you have a better life, whatever way you want to define better, then that's what we love helping people do.
And that's what I really love too, in terms of like how everything, there's nothing that we don't do that we don't impart or make an effort to share with others. Anything that benefits our business, we openly share, and it's so much more than just the marketing sense. I love that we've been able to help businesses with how they can make their lives better and easier by just implementing a few things in their business that can save them our most precious resource, which is time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like Julie was saying, there's many businesses out there flying a solo ship, running solo. So using automation, they can scale and grow their business without necessarily having to grow their team per se. So it's really, stellar job. And for anyone that is not aware and is from Queensland, they might be tuning in. What we're talking about is the Queensland Business Revival. So it's qldbizrevival.com.au. If you're a Queensland business, any business, you can jump on there and register for our free signature program, the Digital Biz Keeper, and some more good stuff. Thanks, Hannah. There it is there. And some more additional free courses that you can do to really help you kind of get more of your digital capability into the new year. And there's a lot of good stuff in there that will help anyone, whether it's your business that you want to improve or even as professionals and your job searching and looking for a new career path, you'll be able to gain a lot of good value from there too. So just had to add that one in. Now, Fabi, back to you, Fabstar. Some of your Christmas. So Agnes Water is not where you grew up spending Christmas. Tell us about some of where what a traditional Christmas has looked like for you growing up, and which of those traditions have you kept on and maintained with your own family now?
Well, I grew up in a little ski resort in Switzerland where I should be at the moment, but yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
So it snows at Christmas. We drink Glühwein. It snows, and we do Christmas on Christmas Eve on the 24th, like Julie. Not on the 25th. Like, the party with the family and everything is on the 24th. So what traditions have I kept? I've been here 15 years, but I was telling my husband, it's the first year that is starting to feel like Christmas. I mean, still doesn't feel like Christmas. It's not cold. I'm not, skiing or snowboarding.
Come to Melbourne, you'll feel right at home.
There's there's no Christmas markets, you know, like outdoor markets in the evening, and it doesn't smell like Christmas spice. So there's nothing in my body that's telling me it's Christmas. That's why none of my friends get Christmas presents. But what tradition have I tried to keep? Oh, I've really not done a good job of it. Maybe one thing I've done, as I guess I've spoken to my kids in French ever since they were born. So when they go back to Switzerland, you know, they'll be probably get a better feeling of what's happening with the family. They'll be able to understand.
Yes.
I haven't, just because it's so different. Haven't really kept many traditions. I've tried to teach them, you know, Petit Papa Noël songs, like Santa songs in French, but probably because of my singing voice. Yeah. So, celebrating
Is there a Swiss community in Agnes Water? Have you got other? Is there a Swiss community?
Well, I need to tell you something. I am Swiss French, which we're like in Switzerland. In Switzerland, we have 4 different communities. So all the ones that seem to be traveling or move here are Swiss Germans. So it's like very different. Speak different language, you know, eat different foods, almost different politics because they follow the German stuff. So there is a few. We've suddenly become really good friends with the French and the French-speaking Belgians, whereas normally if you're in Switzerland, you're like, oh, the French, no. But suddenly you get really excited when you hear French. So there is a few people that speak French and sometimes with French. Yeah.
It's important, I guess, like what Liz was saying, like if it's no those traditions, as much as we can hold on to them. And I feel the same with my Greek background. If it wasn't with my parents living 5 minutes away from me, I would probably be the same without having all of that family here to uphold them. Whereas now, we've gotten those we have to hold on tight to those traditions, especially the language. It's amazing. I love it when I hear you speaking French with your girls. So thank you, Fabstar. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Liz and Fabian, who have all, for giving us such amazing opportunities through their grit and determination and courage to go for things like $2 million grants and get
1.9.
1.9.
Don't run away, Desi, because we haven't heard from you.
Oh, look, from me, look.
We need to ask you the questions now.
Yeah, you can ask away. I'm just thrilled to be here. Like Liz said, I've experienced every emotion you can think of this year, and having had that first-hand experience being in a tour operation and seeing what it did, you know, what a lockdown could do to a business, and just the mental. The mental strain that came with it, but I couldn't. I mean, I still am. I mean, I haven't been able to go to church yet, but I'm just so grateful for, you know, under the circumstances of what I was experiencing, for this light to come and, you know, and this door to open up at the very same time that this was happening was quite extraordinary. So for me, for Christmas, it always, you know, it always involves an animal on a spit, and there'll be 2, like standard. There will be a lamb on the spit. This year I'll be going to my in-laws for a lamb on the spit, then to my sisters, a lamb on the spit.
But are you a vegetarian?
But as a vegan, so like it's actually been very fortunate, and they keep, like, every time we get together, my mum's like, still, you know, come on. I tell her I've got my iron deficiency. Say you've got just a little bit of lamb twice a week. Then you can go back to being a vegan, you know, just twice a week. Just twice a week.
It's like my big Greek wedding. You're vegetarian, you don't eat meat. Don't worry, I make lamb.
Exactly. On the daily, Jules, on the daily.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, so it's good, and that's so it's very nice, I guess, with the kids. They're getting older, so it's the Christmas gift buying has become more, it's not as easy as when they were younger, but they've made, in the last 12 years, Christmas has been on another level of special, sharing it. You kind of become a child again, I felt, doing Christmas with the kids. So it's nice. I'm very grateful for meeting all of you, working with all of you. I think we've got so many wonderful things to look forward to in 2021. I'll start to thank everybody who has followed us, who has supported us, everybody who has joined us on the many programs pre the team of 8, even through from the bushfires to all the recovery programs, then to the most recent digital BizKeeper programs. Everyone who's put their trust in us, our clients and business community. It has been challenging, to say the least. But I think what unites us all in this team is our desire to help and make a difference. So it gives us, that's our greatest. You heard from all of our highlights. There's a selfie coming. Thank you. I mean, that is part of all of our highlights, and what unites us is that we can. I love what Liz had said in our vision, that we can kind of look back on this. What did you say, Liz, on our porch, on our deck chair?
Oh, well, we want to help people to achieve their dreams and have the lifestyle they want to have in their small businesses and in tourism and in the most remote regions. It doesn't matter where they're located. We take the services to them.
There is absolutely, this is something that unites us, and there'll be more to come in the new year to support you in your digital discovery and in your digital journey. And if you have not already subscribed, there's a lot of free stuff. We're always giving. That's how we roll. So if you have not yet subscribed to our updates, please join us either at tourismtribe.com or at Navii with a double I, NAVII.com.au, and you can be kept up to date on everything that we're up to and new programs that are coming out, and just always some great updates like Emily shared now with the guides and Instagram. We are avid learners, so that is something that also is, you can safely say about all of us, we are very much students for life. So as soon as we learn something, we share it. We will remain open throughout the holidays. We will, as we all take turns in having a well-deserved break with our families, but please feel free to reach out. There will be someone on the other side. So thank you, everyone. Unless there's anyone else that wants to share or any final moments, I want to wish you all, to the team, the merriest Christmas, as well as to all of you that are watching, merriest Christmas and the happiest New Year. Thanks, guys. Anything else?
Merry Christmas.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.